What is a foster home? A foster home provides temporary care for children who come into foster care when Child Protective Services removes them as a result of family breakdown, addictions, illness, abuse, or serious neglect.
So some of the misconceptions about foster care are that you have to be wealthy to be a foster care provider, and you don't. You just have to be able to meet your own financial obligations without relying on the foster care reimbursements. Some people think that they have to have a big house, which that's not true. Some people think you have to be married. That's not true. We have single providers, we have older providers, we have diverse families that provide care. We're welcoming to gay and lesbian families. And what we do in Tucson is our program is responsible for recruiting, licensing, and training people to become foster parents. Then after that, once they get their license, our responsibility is to monitor their homes. And then we work with CPS and place kids in those homes. So initially our job is to recruit foster families, and so we're out in the community and trying to get people to learn more about foster care and come to our classes.
Luckily that Deborah walked you through the red tape, because if you went at it without that agency or an agency helping you, it is exhausting, and it's very, you feel like you're drowning sometimes. Sometimes you almost feel like, I'm done with this, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to foster, I'm not going to adopt. And it's kind of sad because there's so many kids in the system and they make you jump through so many hoops and jump over so many hurdles that you get to a point where you're just like, I'm flipping done, I'm done, and you don't want to do it again.
There are nearly 10,000 children in Arizona's foster care system, and a critical need for more loving foster families to care for them across the state.
Your licensing worker is going to sit with you and talk to you about that. How would you maintain that connection? And it is a lot more than, and again, you remember that, and we'll talk more about it, but that continuum of shared parenting and having them in your home for dinner kind of thing. It's more than just reading up about it. It's more than just a picture, to remind them of who they're connected to. It might mean with Native American kids going onto the reservation and participating in a powwow or participating in other cultural activities that are out there. It's seeking.
First and foremost, we're a foster care agency, but there are times when kids cannot return home safely. It's always the goal, and everybody's working towards that child returning home safely, but if they can't, they're going to need, and they meaning the courts and CPS, are going to need a backup plan, a concurrent plan to reunification, which is somebody that's willing to be a permanent home.
Of course now we are happy, and she's wonderful and beautiful and sweet and willful and impossible and too. So, but we love her.
Yes,
and
definitely.
We sacrificed interest in other kids so that we can have her.
And so do people adopt through foster care? Yes. How often? Quite often. But do they start off with the goal of adoption? No. Kids that are legally free for adoption, that are waiting for foster homes, adoptive homes, those kids typically tend to be older or part of a sibling group. And so there are a list of kids that need to be adopted, but they tend not to be the kids that most people are looking for when they come here inquiring about adoption services. Kids that are 12 or older are given the option if they want to be adopted or not. So if a child who's 12 or older finds themselves in that situation, the judge is going to ask them, their case manager is going to ask them, what do you want? Do you want to be adopted? Do you want permanency? Or, are you not interested in that? And if they're not interested in that, they're not going to force it.
Well, we tried for a while, about 5 years, and then we couldn't get pregnant, or she couldn't get pregnant, and so we decided to do the foster adopt stuff, and then that was our decision, because we definitely wanted children in our lives.
sun.